Hello everyone, welcome to the review of Unit 5 Hit and Run. Now in the preview, I kind of told you about a few situations of some recent diplomats for both, the country of Belgium and Pakistan and US. Some diplomats involved in some, situations that have become a sore spot in society here in Korea. Sore spot.
Sore spot.
The most recent incident was the U.S. diplomat that rear-ended the taxi driver somewhere in Seoul near Yongsan. I don't know the exact location, but it happened near the tunnel. And, traditionally after any kind of fender-bender or some minor accident, you stop and you exchange information. You talk to the person. Rear-end.
Rear end.
Fender-bender.
Fender-bender.
But it seems like this diplomat did not do that, and he just drove away. And when the cops, showed up right before the diplomat got to the base, they tried to question him, but he refused to talk and entered the U.S. base. At which point they couldn't do anything. Now, very negative situation, and it seemed like he was abusing this diplomatic immunity where he didn't have to face the consequences of some of the local laws. And the idea behind diplomatic immunity is a very old, ancient tradition among countries to kind of protect the, government official or diplomat traveling somewhere else. And this is all on the idea of reciprocity, where they will mutually agree. Diplomatic immunity.
Diplomatic immunity.
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Because if some situation happened, let's say to a Korean diplomat in a foreign country, the Korean government might want that person coming back, not facing some punishment in that other country. So it has to be reciprocal. And the Vienna Convention really kind of sets the modern example and outlines the situations that allows this to happen. For certain severe crimes, there's certain punishments that are allowed, but more minor of these offenses, they want to punish or actually remove the people from this. So I wanted to ask you, in a positive way, if you had the opportunity to be a diplomat, would you want to be, or what country? Where would you like to go?
So I've actually seriously considered becoming a diplomat. I had a teacher way back when who kind of really inspired me, and he, after being a teacher, went on to become a diplomat. And so I've looked into the foreign service exams and all of that kind of stuff. But my major problem is that I speak Japanese and I speak Korean, and I like living in Japan and I like living in Korea, but I don't really want to necessarily live other places in the world.
Right.
And I don't speak other languages. So a diplomat really doesn't get to choose. And often if you have like a specific language ability, they will send you to that country eventually, or they'll send you to that country for a little while, but it tends not to be a permanent thing.
Right.
And especially for new diplomats, they tend to send you to the less desired countries.
Right. The less cushy
the less cushy, less luxurious kinds of locations. So that was kind of one of the major issues, and one of the reasons I decided not to try to become a diplomat.
Yeah.
So how about you? Have you ever considered being a diplomat?
It was an idea I had back in, before university, in high school, because I grew up in the military, so I traveled a lot. I had the idea I wanted to live abroad. And I looked at, doing international relations, getting into, working as a diplomat in some capacity. But like you said, you're at the mercy of the government within, your 2 or 3 year post from country to country. It's not very family friendly. And so younger people in their 20s, young 30s, they can do it. But once you get married, once you decide to have family, much harder. It's a big sacrifice.
Especially if you're just starting out then.
Absolutely. So if you're starting later, it's hard. And I've heard those stories. So Would I like to be if I could stay in Korea? Sure. But I know that's not reality.
Right.
So I think I would definitely pass up on that opportunity. But working with diplomats, working with the embassy on something, that'd be great.
That would be really interesting.
But I think the big thing we can take from this is, that diplomatic immunity is not a free pass to just commit crimes. That's not the purpose of this.
Ideally, you shouldn't abuse your diplomatic immunity.
Absolutely. So, depending on the crime, there should be some level of punishment. And I think that if this U.S. diplomat did do what he said he did, he should be removed from his post. He should be sent back to the U.S. or punished in some way, But that's left to be seen after the investigation. So, but, thank you for joining us on this unit. And that's it for our review section. And we'll see you on the next one.